Hey guys, welcome back. Today, now that we have the CGC pop report, we are going to take a look at how many stolen cards they have graded. We know for a fact that some of them were stolen based on the research that we have done over the past. I have a few playlists here, starting with the Shining Fates Charizard VMAX from our boy Char Wizard. We had Laces was showing off a stolen copy. We can see how many of those cards ended up graded. We know they were stolen from the factory. CGC was made aware that these were stolen from the factory, and they still graded them. So that's how we know that at least some of these, we're going to use the data they provided in their pop report, along with the information we have gathered over their entire existence. And we're going to see. We're going to see how many we think are stolen. We're going to see how many are actually just accidental oopsie-doopsie releases. But starting out with this is a key component here because we saw the DMs. CGC was made very aware that these Charizards were stolen. These shiny VMAXs, as you will. And they still graded them. They still returned them to the customers. And yeah, so that's about it. I'll put a link to all three of these playlists. Next up, we have what was an extremely long series on stolen Celebrations cards. 16 videos in that. Again, we know what was stolen. We found out who stole them. We have the whole story. Almost the whole story. We don't know exactly what happened in the end, how many people got slapped on the wrist. If the individual got fired, I would imagine they did, because they can trace it back from the lady at the motel. Again, guys, if you're working there, do not steal stuff. You're going to get in trouble. Someone's going to get slapped on the ass by the Pokemon Company, just like the people that leaked the Sword and Shield guidebooks, got each sued for $150,000 US. Do not steal stuff from work. Do not buy stolen cards. Grading companies, I guess there's only one grading company and one real grading company, if you want to call them a real grading company, that will grade your stolen cards. CGC, smarten up. And maybe they have smartened up, because we haven't really seen any inadvertence in the most recent stolen stuff. We had a Brilliant Stars Leakerino, some stolen stuff. We had the shoeboxer, the plug, if you will. And it seems like there hasn't been any Brilliant Stars Inadvertent Early Releases. Is this because they didn't submit the cards? Maybe. Is it because CGC maybe learned a lesson in not grading stolen product? I don't think any of the early stuff should be graded, and we'll get through that. But in the end, at least verify the fact that it wasn't stolen. It's hard to do so unless it's like a mass error, as we'll see with one example. Yeah, it just shouldn't be graded. It's an incentive for people to steal from work, from the factory, from the print facility, from the distributor. It's an incentive. You're providing an incentive, and it's bad. I shouldn't have to tell them that. I shouldn't have to tell you guys that. They shouldn't be giving you a super special label for stolen items or potentially stolen items. So here we go. We got eBay. We're going to check out the listings here real quick. We see there one of the stolen Charizard VMAXs, the shiny boy, and a 9.5 inadvertent early release, aka probably most likely stolen. And then we have the McDonald's. These are the, what I would say, legitimately accidentally released Oopsie Doopsie Pokemon Company, where these French McDonald's cards were accidentally put in Vivid Voltage pre-release kits. I think it was only pre-release kits. I remember seeing Derium pull some of them, but you guys let me know if it was more than that. But they were accidentally in Vivid Voltage. And then here we have some Shining Fates, which was also very stolen. Were these particular copies stolen? Probably, along with everything else. So where there's an easy trail, all you have to do, CGC, is tune in to Rattle Pokemon. I'll show you when stuff is stolen, although you just shouldn't be grading anything that isn't released yet. Even the stuff that came from the Vivid Voltage stuff, I disagree with that to a lesser extent, but I still disagree with the fact that you're grading it, because At that point, people are going to just pretend that it came from a pack. They're going to tell you that instead of telling you that it was stolen. But yeah, here we go. The Crow J. Carmi, and again, they have this listed on eBay. I'm not super aware of whether or not they are the original owner. From what we gathered from that series on Shining Fates, it was Char Wizard. Char Wizard was either the one stealing from work or selling the stolen cards that someone provided them. Very secretive. Apparently, the hammer got dropped on Char Wizard. We haven't heard from Char Wizard since. You guys might remember that beautiful TikTok that they provided with the image of the Charizard. Again, not good. Don't provide the label. Don't provide the incentive. Yes, people are still going to want to pay more for it if it's stolen from the factory because they want to have it first. They want to have it early. This isn't sneakers. That's not how it works. You can get in a lot of trouble. I would imagine that you can get a lot of trouble with the sneaker crap as well. But with the Pokemon Company, you definitely don't want to mess around. You will probably pay for it. So here we have an example from Supreme Slabs, quite the name, Very G Baller 69. We have another example of these French celebrations cards that were accidentally inserted. Is it kind of neat that you can say that, yeah, I got this from Vivid Voltage, sure, but at the same time, I think it's a dangerous path to go down when you're putting that label on there, when you're giving it that extra premium, that extra special label, because it came out and it wasn't released yet. That it sets a bad example and sets a little bit of a dangerous path when it comes to people taking stuff. There's already an incentive for them to steal from work. They're probably not making very much money at the print facility. They probably don't think they're going to get caught. There's a good chance they're going to get caught if they're selling it on the secondary market. Especially because if it's not released yet, it's going to get traced back. I'm going to find out about it. I'm going to lead back to them. If it's super early and I know it's from the print facility, I'm going to dig even harder. I'm going to find out what happened. The print facility is going to find out what happened anyway, probably. But yeah, just don't do it. So here's another example here from Pika Zard Collector, another Vivid Voltage French McDonald's. Then we have Helix Trip, and again, I don't know if this was the original owner or might have been somebody that purchased from Char Wizard, but we have some more examples here of Shining Fates. We have Amazing Rares, again, almost certainly stolen. So starting off here, we have, we're going to go through the Pop Report, the CGC Pop Report, and thank you to them for providing us with all this information. We're going to make sure that we can see everything on the screen here. Awesome. I think we got it. We got the Chimchar Confetti Hollow Inadvertent Early Release from McDonald's. I'm going to say that the English McDonald's, there's 2 copies of that. Definitely Stolarino. We have Charizard VMAX. So that's the one that we know was stolen. That was the Char Wizard copy. Hangs had one of them. This is the SV107. So we got 6 copies of that were stolen. Very interesting. It'd be interesting to know exactly who graded the 6 copies. We know where 2 of them came from, but the other 4, not so sure. But you can almost be certain that all 6 of these were stolen. CGC was made aware. Copies of this card were stolen. So even if they didn't know all 6 were, chances are, if you're getting 6 of them, if you know 2 of them were stolen, you probably know the other 4 were stolen. Right? Okay, next. Shining Fates. We have the, here we have the Yveltal. This is the Amazing Rare. 1 copy of that. We have the Kyogre. 3 copies. 3 copies of that. 1 copy of the Reshiram. Amazing Rares. Stolen. Again, also provided with the Char Wizard Super Theft. I would almost imagine, certainly for sure, those other cards were also offered. So it makes a lot of sense that they came from the same spot. All right, now the French McDonald's collection 2021. You can be pretty certain that most of these came from those Vivid Voltage Elite Trainer, or not Elite Trainer boxes, the Build and Battle kits. Maybe some of them came from some other products, some other Vivid Voltage. Somehow they got accidentally inserted into those packs. Enough people have pulled them on camera to confirm the fact that, yeah, that's where they came from. But, and also at the same time, if you're going to steal something, are you really going to steal French McDonald's cards that are, you know, they're not even the hollow versions of them? So, yeah, lots of those. Pretty much the only thing that's graded from McDonald's French cards for a reason. But yeah, so these ones, we're going to give them a pass on those. That's 67 cards there, those inadvertent early releases. We're going to call those oopsie doopsies. We'll give them the oopsie doopsie label pass on the inadvertent release. Inadvertent early release. Then we have a special delivery Charizard. This card still hasn't been released yet. We've seen zero evidence that these have been pulled from a pack or oopsie doopsie shipped. I'm going to say that these are stollerinoed. We can be pretty certain. Again, we don't have absolute certainty, but we can be pretty certain that the two of these are inadvertent early release. Now, the one copy that I did see, it was beat to shit. And I'm almost certain this is one of the two copies here. So it's weird that I got an 8.5. Although with CGC, everything gets an 8.5. So you're beat to shit. Probably stolen special delivery Charizard. It's still going to get an 8.5 with CGC. So you might as well send it there. Next, celebrations. We have the Classic Collection. All right. So celebrations, again, another Hype Dogger 69 set. You know people are going to steal it. They gotta steal it. They gotta bring it to an old lady that works at doesn't work. I guess she kind of works at a motel or helps at the motel in exchange for living at the motel. So, you know, you got to steal from work and you got to give your friend to give your friend's mom that works at the motel some stolen cards so she can sell them. And then pretend that her husband died and the Pokemon company sent it to her. That didn't happen. That was bullshit. And they were stolen. They were very stolen. And we've talked to everyone involved, almost everyone involved. And yeah, these are stolen cards. They probably all came from the same spot. But yeah, we have the Team Magma's Groudon for 4, Claydol for 3. We have Tapu Lele GX for 2, Mew EX for 1, Donphan for 2. There's actually some other components of this. I don't think they necessarily all came from the same spot. There's all kinds of. It always involves some kind of flea market where people are selling these. Whether or not they all came from that same thief, probably not, because we saw different locations. So probably multiple thefts on the celebration stuff. And we saw one slip through PSA, which they deactivated after they, I guess, realized their error. I don't know how you accidentally grade a card that isn't released yet. Maybe that grader didn't get the memo that PSA doesn't do that. But yeah, that happened. Celebrations, we got the Blastoise Italian. I guess I should also mention that the majority of the Pokemon cards that are non-Asian in non-Asian locations are printed in the United States. So if we see like an Italian card or a French card that's stolen or accidentally put in a pack, because it was printed in the US. So it kind of makes sense with the French. The French cards that we saw accidentally put in Vivid Voltage, those were, that would be the reasoning for it. So Classic Collection Italian. And then we have a Lance's Charizard V, Inadvertent Early Release. So it's hard to say exactly what happened with this. Because if you make your submission and you contact them, they're probably going to like use that date instead of the date that they actually grade it. This could be a thing where like people took them from the distributor. I don't think you could submit something, but it's hard to say. It's hard to CGC, they like to grade things. As you can tell with the partnerships that they're making with eBay, with PWCC. They just want to grade anything and everything. Give it to them. They want to put it in plastic and take your money. So Lance the Charizard V, I don't know if this was a situation. We didn't really come across this in our detective work, but it could have been, it was probably distributor, maybe factory. I think if it was factory, we would have seen it early enough that it would have set off some red flags. The people that are stealing this or buying this stuff early, they're going to brag about it, and we're going to see it. But we have Inadvertent Early Release. So I find it really hard to believe that it would be like Street Date. Most of the locations, like the stores, do not receive product that early. If you see something that isn't released and isn't going to be released for a month, there's a good chance that it is stolen from distributor level or sooner. And if it's significantly earlier than that, again, probably on the print facility theft side, which we've seen quite a bit of. Again, I think that's where you can get into the most trouble. If a distributor lets stuff out, chances are they are going to get a slap on the wrist. A distributor does not want to lose their partnership with Pokemon, especially in the 2020-2021 era, where everyone wants as much allocation as possible because it was free tendies. You're automatically making money on all that stuff, and you typically aren't getting your full allocation or the amount that you ask for. So a lot of that. Now we have Tapu Lele. We have some more celebrations here. Inadvertent Early Release. Mew EX, Donphan, Luxray, lv.x, all of the above. We got 6 different cards here. What do we got? We got Team Magma's Groudon, Claydol. It was crazy too, the amount of money that people were pumping into this stuff when the set size was so tiny, and most of the stuff not very hard to get, especially like your like Team Magma's Groudon and your Claydol. Very, very inexpensive cards now at this point in time. You had to know a lot of people were going to open this stuff. You had to know a lot of this stuff was not going to be that hard to get. Is it hard to complete the set just by opening? Yes. Is it hard or expensive to complete the set by buying singles after opening a little bit? No, not at all. So even the prices on the stuff that wasn't part of the classic collection was pretty laughable, considering the fact that you open any product and you probably have the majority or the entirety of that set, depending on the product size. We have Celebrations Italian Mew, which is weird. Again, Italian, printed in the US, so was it taken from there? Who knows? I don't know if the stuff that gets shipped overseas, if that has to leave early enough, or if the release date is different on how that would work out, I guess, chronologically. But at the end of the day, Inadvertent Early Release probably means it's stolen. If we don't have a record of, like the French McDonald's cards, of them coming out of products accidentally shipped out, it's a good chance they're stolen. Then, last but not least here, this is weird. I'm not totally sure if this is the Brilliant Stars energies. It doesn't really say. It's unnumbered energy cards English. So I'm assuming these are Brilliant Stars energies with the Darkness energy and the Metal energy here. Your guess is as good as mine. They're not on eBay or anything for us to take a look at. If anyone has seen these or know what they are, I'm assuming they're just regular, the new Brilliant Stars energies that came out in Brilliant Stars, just the normal basic energies. But really weird. I can't believe someone spent money to send those in, even if they say Inadvertent Early Release on them. It's a junk slap, in my opinion. So what does that give us? We have 70 cards that I would say are almost certainly stolen and graded with a special label by CGC, encouraging people to steal from work and or distributors to break the rules and or stores to break the rules. A lot of encouragement to break the rules for extra attendees. And even if it isn't encouragement for them directly to grade it themselves, because they probably won't, they just want to flip it, it's encouragement for somebody to pay more money to them. It's just a chain of encouragement. It's bad. It's all around bad. 70 stolen, what we can assume are stolen, and 67 of those, the French McDonald's cards. So we're going to give them a pass on those. But in the end, at the end of the day, currently we have 137 inadvertent early release cards that I think should not be graded. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Again, if you want to know a little bit more of the backstory, how we know that CGC knew that the Charizards were stolen. That's all within those very long video series. But yeah, join the Discord. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. See you next time.